Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, continuing the RPG A Day 2021. This is actually day 13's video, so I am one day behind, but I will catch up, and I'm going to run two videos pretty much back to back this afternoon and get them out there, so I am caught up. So today, day 13, is the prompt Improvise. Now, I didn't choose the first prompt, which was Flood. So I had the choice of going either with Flood or Improvise or Doom or Pool. So I chose to do Improvise because I think that for both players and game masters, improvisation is really, really important, whether it's a skill or just some people have a natural talent for it. But, when you're running a game or when you're playing in a game, you have to be prepared to shift gears. And there's ways to get players to improvise more by putting them into situations that they weren't quite expecting. And so you can, over time, just kind of train them to really know about their character, which is what I touched upon in a recent video. You really have to know your character and know what your character is capable of doing. And then that way, if something is thrown at you, you'll be able to better improvise for that situation. So if you have let's say you have a fighter that is specialized in swords, and so your fighter's sword breaks, that player can't just suddenly be like, "Oh, my character is completely useless moving forward." Character is going to have to improvise with his or her abilities to still move forward and to still contribute to the rest of the party. As a game master or dungeon master, we always have to improvise. I mean, that's something even if we've well crafted our adventure, players have a way of always thinking of something that you hadn't planned on. And so you have to be very quick on your feet, and you have to make those changes as necessary. Sometimes, if you had a player that, suddenly had to leave the table, you have to improvise that entire remainder of the session. In some cases, you might say, well, we're going to shut down this session for today. We'll try to wrap it up and get it to a point that makes sense to stop at that point. Or you might decide to move forward with the gameplay, especially if the player that's departing tells you, "Oh, no, please do just control my character," and you have to improvise based on that. I would usually let another player play that character out, but that character could not be killed in that situation. All right. Can't be done stupidly either. Otherwise, I would just take control over the character as well. So, the player that took over, would have to kind of have some sense of how the true owner of the character would run that character. But improvising in situations that were unexpected is a skill or a talent that you should try to build up and cultivate, so that your games run a lot smoother when you're not so tied down to very specifically what is written for, whether it be the adventure or the campaign or whatever. No adventure should be so inflexible that even through improvising you can't get through it. So that's another thing that if you do write your own adventures, as I do in most cases, I always leave enough outside of the framework so that there is that flexibility, and there is the potential to move in a different direction than either I was expecting or the players were expecting, and to just improvise. So very important skill for both the game master or the players to have. It does take an understanding of the characters and the character group as a whole, and their capabilities together in order to effectively improvise as well. So once again, I hope you like this video. As I've always said, I've tried to keep these short. I am testing out, just so you know, I'm testing out a new camera, which is supposedly a higher definition than my previous camera, and I'm also using the speaker through the camera itself. That's why you don't see me wearing the headsets. So please feel free to let me know if the sound quality is overall better than several videos ago before I went back to the headphones. Because primarily I'd like to keep the headphones off, because after some time they do get somewhat cumbersome, just having them over my ears, all of those during recording and then going into gameplay sometimes, because sometimes I go back to back and I might be wearing them for like 4 or 5 hours in a row, and that's crazy. So once again, hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the questions and comments sections. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. You all have a great afternoon.